Hello, my name is Milo and welcome to my rural DoorDash ride-along. This is episode 2 of my February DoorDash goals. I'm trying to make $2,500 this month. I don't know why I thought it was a brilliant idea to increase my monthly goal in the shortest month of the year, but that's what I did. I should be making $625 a week, and in the first week I made $500. And I thought, hey, I'll start with a Sunday breakfast run before church like I usually do if I wake up early enough. I forced myself out of bed at 6:30, got on the road at 7. I didn't get an offer till 8. I think it's too cold and rainy. Well, I wasn't planning on doing an evening dash, but when I made only $5.90 this morning, I figured I needed to do better. So I'm out again tonight. Close to 3:30. I'm starting a little early for dinner shift, but it's partially because I don't want to be out really late tonight. It's Superbowl Sunday. I couldn't care less about sports, but that means I can deliver food to the people who are watching the game. And I'm starting off with a $6.90 order from McDonald's. Not going very far. Going right back to McDonald's. This one's only paying $3.90. I wasn't even gambling on this. It just happened this way. $5 tip. All right, next up, $5.93 from Safeway. I have a suspicion this is no tip. So it's harder to sniff out no tip orders when it's shopping because the base pay is higher for shopping, and how much higher depends on the item count and whatever. So I thought that was a no tip order, but there was a tip on it. There was a $2 tip. Next up is a $5 101 burger. Next up is another $5 order, and this one's from Crispy Crunchy Chicken. I doubt they're gonna have the order ready, but I didn't think 101 burger was gonna be ready, and they were ready. So maybe I will be pleasantly surprised twice in a row. It was ready. She still had to put it in the bag, but it was ready. $8.24 for 9.9 miles. Yeah, I'm not doing that one. Seriously, this one's similarly bad. I've delivered to this customer before. And there's no cell service at her house. That'll be rough. Oh, 3 seconds to spare. I'm saying yes. All right, this is the fun part. I dropped off the order. I'm having trouble marking it as delivered because of poor cell service, so I'm continuing to drive away down this gravel road toward where there will be better service. Fortunately, I was 5 minutes early for the drop-off, so even if it takes 5 minutes to get a signal to mark it as delivered, this should be fine on my on-time rate. I'm going right back to Giro, guys, for $7.90 with a plus sign. Well, $7.90 plus went up to $13.90, and now I got an order from 101 Burger for $5.60. I'm gonna take this. It's like an $8 8-mile order. It's a Walgreens. It's one item. So as long as the item's in stock, I should have no trouble with it. But I also need to make a run to Toledo for myself anyway. So I figure this is gonna get me there, and then I'm gonna end my dash. I'm almost to the customer. It's not raining right now, but it was raining really hard earlier today, and it was raining yesterday. And the road that I am turning onto right here has flooded before. Oh, thank goodness it's not flooded today. Oh, good. And I got past the lowest point. Okay, we're good. In December, during the massive rainstorm, I was sent down this road by DoorDash, and it was after dark, and I didn't realize it was flooded, and I drove my little sedan straight into like a foot or more of water, and I had to think fast to safely get through that one. My DoorDash evening is over a little early. It's only 6:30, but I have other stuff I want to get done. All right, Monday morning. I logged in at 7:45, and it said estimated 1 to 2 minute wait. It's 8:15 now. It's been half an hour almost. Still says 1 to 2 minute wait. I haven't got anything. Well, 9 o'clock, first offer. My gosh, this is worse than yesterday. After probably about half an hour of waiting, and scrolling on my phone and watching other DoorDash drivers on YouTube, I got a $9 Starbucks order, which I'm taking. Now while I'm waiting for my next offer, I'm gonna fill up the car. So I just got gas, and then I thought, well, I still don't have an offer. I'm gonna run to the post office and check the mail. And partway there, I got an offer from Burger King, which is right next to the gas station I was just at. And because this is a hand-it-to-me, PIN required at a person's place of work, and the delivery notes say, I'll meet you at the front door, I sent her a message as I was leaving Burger King with an ETA. My customer did not meet me at the door. I ended up having to go inside and talk to someone else at the desk who went back and found her and got the code. And then I got I think it was $5.90 for 3 miles from Rise. It's the Rise in South Beach, and the delivery is also in South Beach. And finally, at 11 o'clock, I got an offer from Taco Bell. All right, now I have a $5 Safeway retail pickup. Looks like it's one item, which probably means one bag. So I don't know why DoorDash said it was one item. It was 4 bags. So I went up to the door for the retail pickup, and the associate asked me if I had a cart, and I said, no, it's one item. And she said, no, it's not one item. The app didn't prompt me to scan the labels. Well, 2 days in a row, I got a cash tip. This was a $10 cash tip. Next offer, $7.90 for 3 miles. Taste of India delivered to South Beach. Next up, an $11 Starbucks stack. The first one is going to the high school with a PIN required, which kind of concerns me because the high school set up with these DoorDash cubbies so you don't interact with the customer. I forgot that today was a no school day. So yes, this was a staff person who had ordered Starbucks, and she was already outside coming to meet me, so it was super easy. All right, it is 1:45. I've been out for 5 hours, and I have made a little under $70, $59 directly through the app, and a $10 cash tip. It's Tuesday, it's 10:30 in the morning. I'm gonna do a lunch shift in Lincoln City. Not because I necessarily think Lincoln City is gonna be better than Newport for a Tuesday lunch, but because I need to go up to Lincoln City anyway, so might as well. Earlier this morning, I took a long walk outside and it was kind of cold. Got back home and then I realized I wasn't feeling super great, and I don't know if it's just a response to the cold, or if I'm getting a cold, or if it's just a round of allergies, because I get those several times a year. I don't have a fever. I should still be good to work, but just in case, I do have a mask. All right. We are starting off with a $16 Burger King offer. It's got some miles attached to it, but $16, man, I could not pass that up. And in addition to the distance, it's also 2 very large bags. I had to get my second insulated bag out of the trunk. After an hour of waiting, I got a Taco Bell offer, and I'm right next to Taco Bell. I don't like this offer, though. That's the problem. Yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway, because I don't want to wait any longer. I know. Call me ridiculous, but I'm gonna keep my mask on because they didn't seal the drink. So if you rely on reading lips, turn on closed captions. But that actually paid off, because then I got an add-on, another $4 Taco Bell order on my way to the first customer, and it looks like the non-tip order is at the high school, which I can't even be too upset about that, because it may be the student can't afford to tip. All right. So then I got a $3 Subway offer Not remarkable, but it's also not going very far. Well, I waited quite a while longer, didn't get anything else, so I am ending with $27 in a little under 3 hours, which is pathetic. All right, I'm starting off Wednesday lunch shift with a Starbucks order. It's $6.90. All right, next up is a $4 Momiji order that is going all of 2 blocks away from Momiji. All right, it's another $4 order, this time from Barge Inn Tavern. And now I've got a $14 order from Crispy Crunchy Chicken. It's going 9 miles to Toledo. It's not the $2 a mile that I would prefer it to be, but I've been doing great on dollar to mile, so I don't really care. And also, I haven't mentioned it because I feel like I'm a broken record the last few days, but I've been waiting a lot this shift. All right, next up is a $6 order from Rise. Next up is an order from Abby's Legendary Pizza, $6.75 plus. All right, so in today's edition of Plus Sign, is it 75 cents more or is it a unicorn? It was $1 more. It's still a good offer. And then I got a $2 added tip after completion. It's 1 o'clock. It doesn't look like it's busy anymore. I don't see the point in staying online if it's not busy enough to send me more offers. So I'm gonna call it for here. It's evening and I'm only gonna be out for a little bit because I have somewhere to be at 6:30, but I figured I'd get a couple orders in before I run out of time. And this one is a $6 plus from Taste of India. I think it was 1.4 miles. And after dropping that off, I immediately got a $9.75 offer from Asiatico, which is quoted to take until 6:29. So I really hope I can actually get it done a couple minutes early. Well, I got that dropped off at 6:27 and immediately logged out to make sure they didn't try to send me another. All right, it's Thursday. And I was in South County all morning. It's 12:35. I decided, even though I don't like dashing in Walport, I would log in Walport on my way back to Newport. And I immediately got an offer. The dollar to mile is all right. I don't like shopping at Dollar General because their stuff is never on the aisle it's supposed to be on. It might not be in stock. Cell service inside the store is bad. So, as expected, that was rough. Stuff was not where it was supposed to be. A pack of cheese was on aisle 7, supposedly, except aisle 7 was socks and underwear. It's the kind of store that really shouldn't be on DoorDash. And the employees there don't even know that they're on DoorDash. Like, the last time I was there, too, I said, this is a DoorDash order, just so they'd know while checking out for whatever process they need to do. And she's like, I didn't know we were on DoorDash. And this time he asked me if I had a phone number with them. And I said, no, this is a DoorDash order. And he said, oh, they have DoorDash out here in Walport? And the total actually ended up being higher than originally quoted. I don't remember what it first said. $8 maybe? But then he added a $2 tip afterward, and somehow the total's $14.23. I don't mind. I will take $14.23. Now I'm back in Newport, and I'm taking a stupid offer. $3.75 for a little over 4 miles. It's 1:45. I thought that was probably going to be it for the day, but then I got a $4 for 3 mile offer, so it's the inverse of what the last offer was, and it's taking me right back toward downtown, which is very nice. It's Friday, and I'm gonna try and catch up on my earnings a little bit. I'm gonna do a few hours at lunch and a few hours at dinner, and my first order of the lunch shift is a $15 Starbucks order going, I think, 6.9 miles. It's about $2 a mile. It's going to South Beach. After I dropped that off in South Beach, I got an offer from Asiatico, so I'm hopping back over the bridge into Newport to pick that up, and then I'm gonna hop back over the bridge again to deliver this also to South Beach. All right, next up is a $6.10 plus offer from Lucky Tie Elephant. That was a really nice offer. The $6.10 plus turned into $17.10. And then the next offer I got was a $7.12 for, I think, 2.8 miles from Momiji. The next offer I got was $9 for 11 miles from McDonald's, and I declined that. But instead, I took this offer that's $6 for 2 miles from Crispy Crunchy Chicken. Next up I'm gonna have to go around the block to do this because I'm pointed the wrong direction on the highway. But it's a $3 offer from El Faro Taqueria. It's not a great payout, and it's going to the hospital, which could be a challenge in itself, but it's only 0.5 miles. All right, hospital drop-off completed. The note said leave it at the lobby, so I was thinking, well, is that the main lobby or the emergency lobby? I go to the main lobby, and I ask the person at the desk if I can drop off this food for this customer name, and she said, I'm only gonna be here for a couple more minutes. Probably should have just declined that order. I know I get flack for accepting bad orders. I see that a lot on my short form videos, which are always clipped out of context because I prioritize the long form videos when I edit. But hey, the short form videos get me the views, and the long form videos are the content I actually want to make, so as long as my customers are satisfied. Then I got a $5 stacked order from Momiji, which means one or both of the tips are not very good. So I made just over $60 in about 3 hours over this lunch shift, and I'm gonna take a break for a few hours and come back out tonight and do a dinner/evening shift. It's now Friday evening and the rain has really picked up, so hopefully that means lots of orders. Oh, here we go, Lucky Thai Elephant. Where is that? Oh crap, that's the apartment I always have trouble with, but yeah, let's do this. That's an apartment building that I've always had trouble with because I can never find the correct apartment when I'm there. It's such a confusing building, but for some reason I found it right away. So I dropped that off and I immediately got an $8 order from Abby's Pizza. I love that the offer came in so quickly. I know that the app must be busy if it's sending me stuff that fast. Once again, as soon as I dropped the order off, I got a new offer. It was a Safeway shopping order, only 3 items. I wasn't thrilled about the idea of shopping, and it was going to Toledo. It was barely over $1 a mile. I declined it, and then, this has never happened to me before, they took an offer I declined and gave it to me again on a stack. I've never had that before. I'm gonna take it this time. Right, Taco Bell was dropped off. It was dropping off at a motel with one of the worst parking lots. It's so narrow with diagonal parking and a dead end, so you have to turn around with very little clearance. Now I'm gonna go to Toledo to deliver this Safeway shopping order. Shortly after leaving that customer's house, DoorDash sent me a stacked shopping order from Safeway. It was $19, but 22 miles because one of the deliveries going to Siletz. And yeah, sure, some of that mileage is I need to get back to Newport in order to do the order, but I'm gonna have to drive back to Newport after going to Siletz, and there's no cell service in Siletz. Nothing about it sounded good, so I declined it, because I'm hoping I can get something better than 19 for 22. And the fact that I got that order in Toledo, where I was nowhere near Safeway, I think there's a good chance there's going to be more offers available. As I was pulling back into Newport, I got another delivery to Toledo, but this is $14.60 for, I think it was 8 miles. Regardless, it's better, and I'm going to make nearly as much money as the last offer I declined without having to shop and only having to go to Toledo, not Siletz. All right, this one is $10 for 4.6 miles from Giro Guys. This customer lives in a gated community, and they did put the gate code in the delivery notes. All right. The next offer was not a good one, so I said I'm gonna wait for the next one, and that next one was a $13 for 4 mile stacked offer, Safeway and Lucky Thai Elephant, and I'm taking that one. So I did the shopping at Safeway. It was actually a pretty easy one, and then I picked up the food from Lucky Thai Elephant, and as I was walking back to the car, I got an add-on for McDonald's. First off, I'm dropping off Lucky Thai Elephant. That's the one it's telling me to do first. Apparently, I'm picking up from McDonald's next, so The Safeway groceries are gonna be a bit delayed, and it's kind of out of my control at this point. But this person didn't purchase any perishables. It's just soda, energy drinks, and snacks. So as soon as I finished those 3 concurrent orders, I received an offer from Asiatico, and now I got an offer from Burger King that is $6.10 with a plus sign. So the total on that went up $3. It ended up being $9, and now I've got a $7 Taco Bell offer, which would have been $5 if not for the $2 peak pay that's being added right now. They had announced that peak pay would be from 9 to midnight, or 9 to 11:59 as they like to do. I'm not going to be out that much longer. I don't like to dash super late. I've never gone past 9:30 because there are so few places that are open, and it takes me a while to unwind after I get home and can actually sleep. While I was at Taco Bell waiting for the order to be ready, I got an add-on for another $7 Taco Bell order, which I happily took. And this is going to put me at over $100, not just for the day, but for this dinner shift. I'm really happy with that. This may be the most I've ever made in one day. It's Saturday morning, it's Valentine's Day. I am gonna do a really short, like 1 hour of dashing this morning. I was in Toledo, I'm headed to Newport. I have a commitment at 10 o'clock. It's almost 9, so I have about an hour. I got an offer. It's a stacked order from Starbucks, which I gotta go to Newport anyway, so it doesn't matter that this is upside down. It's paying me to go to Newport where I need to go anyway. See if I can crank out maybe 2 or 3 more offers before my 10 o'clock commitment. And then I'm gonna go out again tonight. My wife and I observed Valentine's Day early so that I could make the most of dashing on what hopefully will be a lucrative night. Oh, this is ridiculous. No. I'm not doing a shop and restaurant going to Silet's for $14. I don't love how many times I've been declining in the last couple of days. Are you freaking kidding me? They're still trying to send that one offer to Silet's. No. I am still not going to Silet's. I literally don't have time to do that, and it's still upside down, and I don't want to do it. So I have to decline it again. I am not going to be your long-distance delivery guide today. Okay, $7.85 for 3 miles, Walgreens. 5 items, not 1 item, but yes, I will do this one. So that shopping order was so complicated. It was a gift for someone for Valentine's Day, and it had a lot of specialty items, and the customer had some very specific requests about how to repackage it for presentation. While I was in the process of doing the shopping, I got an add-on for another Walgreens order, which if I wasn't pressed for time, I would have been tempted to do just because it was a ridiculously good payout, like $30-some, I think, going to Walport, but that's a good payout for going to Walport. I wanted to focus on this customer and give this customer and this order the attention that it deserved. So I had to decline that really nice paying offer going to Walport, and it's less than 10 minutes till my commitment. So I'm logging out, I'm done. I'll come back out tonight and do some more dashing then. I am beginning my Saturday Valentine's night dash with a stacked order. It's shopping and a restaurant pickup. One of them's going to Toledo, which I'm not thrilled about, but it is $14. Well, the shopping went fine, but the Momiji pickup had an incredibly long delay because DoorDash sent me way too early. I was actually a few minutes late for pickup according to DoorDash because of how long the shopping took, but Momiji had it marked as scheduled from 5:30 to 5:45, and they were running late because they were busy, so I had to wait a really, really long time. So I finally got that picked up, and as soon as I picked that up, I got an add-on for a pizza pickup, and I'm like, I know that's gonna take a while. I'm not doing that. And then I got another add-on from Local Ocean, and I said, okay, fine, that one's going to Toledo, where I'm already going. So the thing about the scheduled delivery, it's the first time I've run into the issue as a Dasher, but I have seen it as an issue as a customer. A couple months ago, my wife tried to order groceries to deliver to a friend, and there was an ID check required for some of the items. So she scheduled it for a time her friend would be home, and DoorDash dispatched a Dasher to the store to shop 2 or 3 hours early and wasn't able to meet the recipient, and they ended up not able to deliver it. I don't know why the errors happen, but I don't have much faith in scheduled deliveries on DoorDash at the moment. So this whole stack, Safeway, Momiji, and Local Ocean, by the time I finish it and drive back to Newport, it's gonna be at least 6:30. So it's like 90 minutes for this $20, $25, whatever it actually is. So I delivered the Safeway groceries, and now I'm on my way to deliver Local Ocean, and it's a good thing that they're projecting that I'll get there about 6 minutes early. Telling me to take Olson Road. Olson Road has been closed for years, like with a concrete barrier, and more recently there's a tree over the road that has never been cleared. It is not passable. You can't drive it. So I have to take a longer way around because it's 2 parts of town that no longer connect directly. But fortunately, I'm still running early, so this should not impact my on-time rate. I already have an offer. This is 2 orders to the same customer in South Beach. It's 1 item at Safeway and Momiji. It's not a good payout on the offer card, but that's because I'm in Toledo and I need to drive back to Newport anyway. So the 1 item at Safeway was a package of water bottles, and they were out of the particular one she wanted, but we did a substitute. Then I went to Momiji to pick up that order, and I had to wait quite a while there. Not as long as last time. They were still slammed. They had so many people waiting for tables and picking up to-go orders, and DoorDash drivers there. All right, next offer, $15.19, I think is what it was, for 4.4 miles. It is Safeway and Fred Meyer, 2 shopping orders going to the same customer. It looks like Safeway is candy and Fred Meyer is plushies. And because it's shopping, as long as I can find everything, I should be able to do it quickly because I won't be waiting for a restaurant to have the food ready. Well, that was a fascinating shopping order. I went to Safeway, and 3 of the 4 items this customer wanted had sold out because they were Valentine specialty. And so I had to do a bunch of substitutions, and initially she was responsive, and then she stopped responding, and I had to make some executive decisions. And then I went to Fred Meyer. Fred Meyer had everything in stock. All 3 plushies in stock, no problems whatsoever. And then I'm leaving Fred Meyer, and she started continuing to respond about the substitutions at Safeway. I'm already checked out. I can't do anything now. I have an offer from Taste of India. It's like $5 1 mile. Not remarkable, but I immediately got the notification that it's ready, and I don't think they're in the habit of pushing that button prematurely, so I should be able to do this super quick and easy and move on to whatever comes next. Indeed, the order was ready. It was a quick and easy pickup. The only hiccups were that I stepped in a puddle that I couldn't see in the dark on my way back to the car, and I think my key fob battery has died. Now I've got another unremarkable little restaurant pickup. This one's Taco Bell. While I'm waiting at this light, I got this offer. I can't pass this one up. $37. 13 miles, but that's nearly $3 a mile. Shopping, which who knows how that's gonna go, and 101 Burger. Even if I have issues with the shopping and the restaurant isn't ready, even if those things happen, this is a fantastic payout. It's gonna get me nearly to $100 for the night and over $100 for the day. I love this. I might even just end after this one. Because that offer was so good, I didn't even look at what was on the shopping list before accepting. It was a run-of-the-mill grocery shopping order. Nothing Valentine's themed at all. There was only one item that was out of stock, and I could quickly find the shelf tag, take a picture of it. Got to 101 Burger, they already had the order ready, so I picked it up earlier than the app said I should be picking it up. And that's a wrap on Valentine's Day, and a wrap on this episode of my February DoorDash goals. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode, which will come out same time next week. Happy dashing.